let me ship a box to your parents' house. He's like, do it. So, sweet. 9-bottle minimum order at $21 to $25 a bottle.
Jesus.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Hoppy Craftsmen. With me this week is Nate, like always, and Brandon's back with us this week.
Yay! I'm back. Thanks for having me back. I mean, good to be back.
Thanks for having me back. Yeah, you can stay if you'd like.
Thanks for being back in my house.
Yeah.
Thanks for being back in the continental U.S., I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm back from Canada,
The Great White North.
The Great White North. Went up and did a little skiing up there.
Celebrated a B-Day?
Well, it was before the B-Day, but,
That's right.
you know, it just our annual guys ski trip. Oh, okay. And so this year we kind of blew it out and went up to, the Great White North and hit Red Mountain. We had a lot of powder. It was amazing. Nice. And actually tried a couple Canadian brews while we were up there. Local breweries out of Nelson, British Columbia.
How was it?
Did you find any mice in the beer?
No mice. They were actually good. One of the places we went to, a little tap house, brew house, was Torchlight. And they had only about 4 beers on tap at any given time. Mm-hmm. That's because that's all they could really produce and get out. Small batch, very small batch.
That's tight.
Everything that they had on tap was very tasty. I had a black IPA. They had a barley wine. They had other varieties, but they were just very limited on what they had in stock at that time. Yeah. So we just tried a little sampling of everything, but it was fun. Nice. It was a very good time and enjoyed the snow more than anything. So, but I'm back and it's hot as fuck here.
I was gonna say, I wish it was cold.
Right. Yeah, I wish it was real cold here.
We're baking under the
90 degrees
sun.
Today. 90 degrees in the Valley of the Sun.
It's
welcome to spring.
Spring.
Yeah.
Spring has sprung.
Spring
in
is
the
sprung.
air. Canada.
So
I saw your Untappds weren't super high rated on any of the beers you checked in.
I mean, they were decent beers. I don't remember them off the top of my head. How I was tapping them. But I mean, they're trying their game in the craft beer world, and it's a small. Nelson was a tiny town, there were 2 breweries, the Nelson Brewing Co. and Torchlight, and Nelson Brewing Co. had a bunch of stuff on tap at different places. They had like ambers and lagers and normal IPA, nothing fancy.
I was curious to know what the styles of beer they were doing there. I mean, I've never even had like what would be considered Bud Light of Canada, Molson, all those things. I've never even had Canada, brewed beers like that. Period.
Right.
But I'd be curious to see what
they had a lot of stuff because they're close to Washington, so they had a lot of Deschutes on tap. So we had some of that, because it was local-ish for the area, only about 3 hours north of Spokane. They had Deschutes, they had other local stuff from the Washington area as well on tap. So I mean, they're trying their hand in the craft world game. And actually, when we were at Torchlight, I was talking to the guy that was serving the beer, and asked him if he tried with any of the northeastern style unfiltered hazy IPAs, and he said, yeah, we did one batch of that, and it actually blew the top off of our fermenter. So he's like, we will not be doing that again.
Yeah, gotta be a little careful with that, I guess. Huh?
But I mean, no, it was good. I mean, it's beer. After a long day on the slopes, all we wanted was a beer, and so it was beer. Can't complain.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah. And are we drinking a beer right now, right?
We are drinking a beer right now from Surly.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Surly.
Tell us about it, Brandon.
How do we get Surly here?
That's a great question. Tell us about it, Brandon.
Well, I'll tell you what we're drinking to start with. It's the Extra Citra Pale Ale from Surly Brewing Company out of Minnesota.
Might as well be Canada.
It is only a 4.5%.
Ooh.
I know, it's a little light for what we're used to. I know, but the can is intriguing.
12 ounces. I don't know about 4 ounces.
The can is intriguing because it looks like a energy drink. And when I showed the guys the picture of it, Nate was immediately jumped on, oh my God, that looks like Surge energy. And so
the can just makes me want to guzzle it.
Right. So I actually have not had a sip yet of it, but we are drinking the Surly because Total Wine partnered with Surly to bring them to both Florida and Arizona for the spring. Yep. And so they released 6 different of the Surly beers that are only available until they're gone. And it's part of a partnership that they've done with other breweries in the past. And the guy I was talking to at Total Wine said they'll do 4 breweries a year. like this. But Surly's kind of the biggest one that they've really partnered with at this point.
Now, was there any chance they're going to continue any of that distribution based on how well it goes, or
they just said what's here is here, and that's it?
Yeah, and that's
I've fucking blows.
I've seen stuff back and forth where people are online on the Facebook Arizona Craft Beer Lovers actually said that in the past they have kept some of the beers that if they actually sold well. So we won't know for a little bit. This is going to be held. I hope so. I hope this is a one-time thing because I like a lot of Surly's beers. I want to get a little bit deeper in some of their stuff
for sure.
But yeah, the fact that we have even this little bit coming to the Valley, I was like super stoked. So
it's true. I'm excited about it. It's delicious. But it's a little thin, like a pale ale, but the Citra is like crazy on it. It is all Citra hops. It is really good.
It'd be a nice session beer, pool beer. Just a tall boy out by the pool or on the boat or whatever.
Drunk quest.
Hot summer days.
It'd be a good drunk quest. A good game of drunk quest.
Right? 16 ounces of Citra hops. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, it's like I said, it's definitely light and kind of refreshing. Definitely,
not
more
heavy at all.
More of a session. Yeah. It's a session IPA. Really, is what it comes down to.
It's not heavy. It's good.
It's very nice.
But all their cans are pretty unique in their designs. Their coffee one, this one, their Todd the Axeman. They have great designs on all their cans and marketed as beer for a glass from a can. So pour it out. Pour it out. Don't drink it straight from the can if you don't have to.
Shouldn't have made the can look so goddamn cool then.
Well, that's what gets you to buy it in the first place, though, Nathan.
I suppose.
So we were talking before the show, kind of how it came here. So Surly did make a post on Instagram saying that Florida and Arizona were going to get it on March 1st, and me, like the I showed up on March 1st at Any Total
beer
Wine.
Geek you are.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, dude. They did not have some. They didn't even know what I was talking about at the one over in Tempe. And so he finally went and looked it up, and he was like, evidently the Scottsdale location got all of them, and then they were actually going to distribute them throughout the weekend. So that's why later in the weekend I went to Tucson and I found some. Brian, where did you find yours at?
I found mine at the Tempe one. I believe it was on the 6th of March, and they were just putting it out. That was Tuesday the 6th, and they were just putting it out on the shelves. Gotcha. So I walked in and grabbed one of each of them, and made a little sixer, and they are quite delicious.
Yeah, if I knew I was going in for the long haul, I'd want to drink a beer like this. I suppose it does look. It would be nice session beer. Now, don't you have like a satanic Surly shirt?
I do. Pentagram.
Tell us about that story at the Real Wild and Woody. Didn't some guy come up to you thinking you actually worship Satan because of that shirt?
Possibly.
We were drinking. I remember we were in one of the lines, and he came up to your shirt, and he came up and he actually thought you were part of. You worshipped Satan.
Is where I was.
Sweet shirt, Surly.
Where I was like, all hail Satan, and then he was like, "You too, brother," and he just walked away. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You guys did some sort of secret handshake and then walked away from each other. It was super awkward for me.
It was my Illuminati handshake. Please don't spread that around.
Yeah, I know we're really fucking it up for you.
I'm fucking. My cover's blown. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Surly Brewing Company. Cool shirts and cool cans.
Actually, besides just the shirt, I actually got the coffee bender, which is their coffee porter. I actually got a mug from them as well. So.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a sweet ceramic mug.
I bought it, put my coffee in because the giant coffee mug. But now since I actually have some of the coffee porter,
might as well drink it out of it.
Exactly.
Now you're at work drinking the coffee bender out of your coffee mug.
No, it's coffee. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hoping nobody's listening from work on this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No,
maybe. Cameron, turn off the computer.
Yeah, hope you're wearing headphones.
Yeah. Anyway, Surly. Now they're doing...
Welcome to the Valley.
Coffee bender, extra pale. Can you guys name them all?
The Surly Hell, which is a Saison. The Todd the Axeman. The Cynic Ale.
What's the Axeman?
It's actually an IPA as well, but it's 7.2.
There we go.
A little higher. It's actually named after their one of their brewers that actually is a pretty mean guitarist.
Okay.
Some brewer from, I think Brewdog came over with it, and he actually gave him the nickname Todd the Axeman.
Okay, Todd the Axeman. What was the next one?
Oh, God. Now you're going to make me go through them all again. Coffee Bender.
Furious.
The Extra Citra. The Cynic Ale.
Cynic, that was the next one.
Surly Hell.
Furious is normal
Furious,
IPA.
and I think that's the sixth one.
That is all of them.
Nice.
Nailed it.
So
we can go home, guys.
If you're in Florida or Arizona and looking for some good beer, go to Total Wine and pick them up while they last.
As soon as possible.
This could be 2 weeks from now, so you could be really fucked.
SOL.
Hopefully he gets them before then.
Right. Yeah.
So, news, guys. What's going on in the news?
In the news, per local news, the Arizona Tucson Hop Shop.
Right. I mean, it's funny. So Tucson is, we've talked about it a few times now, and it seems like we really have to go to Tucson. I'm sorry to both of you guys.
They're going to make places called the Hop Shop. I mean, yeah, well, Brandon would be all about us going to Tucson. I mean, but the Hop Shop.
It's Tucson.
That name alone.
Nobody really wants to go to Tucson.
Brandon, is that true?
I left Tucson.
Right.
I'm not saying that I won't go back to Tucson. My parents still live in Tucson. They'll come drink beer with us if we go down to Tucson. So
at this point, there's enough reasons for us to go to Tucson that we almost have to at this point. We have Pueblo Vita we need to check out. I mean, there's friggin' there's 4 other breweries opening up this year besides the ones that are
really?
Centennial 1912. They have the original Thunder Canyon Brewery down there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Pueblo Vita looks pretty sweet.
It does.
They look like they're making some pretty sweet brews.
So Tucson again made the news with basically craft beer does a yearly thing where they rate every state's top place to get a beer, and it's actually voted on by people that read craft beer, go to the craft beer website.
And it's the Tucson Hop Shop, huh?
Yeah, Tucson Hop Shop. So of all the places in Phoenix that we have and places around here, Tucson actually won, which is crazy. So
sweet. Look at that. The purveyor of artisan. I hate that fucking word. Artisanal beer making. Artisanal. Is that it?
Artisanal.
Artisanal beer making kits. That sounds fucking awesome. I want to go there.
You're hilarious.
Wow. Artisanal beer making kits.
That's the one.
Fuck yeah, that sounds cool.
So yeah,
today,
2015,
anal bum covers.
Cans, 19 drafts, probably more than that now.
Yeah.
Anal bum covers.
Don't make me laugh because I'm already coughing.
Yeah, Brandon's throat's all fucked up because he wasn't feeling so good, but he's powering through it.
I'm trying to, so apologize for the coughing in the background.
Artisanal beer making. Now that is actually pretty fucking cool.
Right. So then when I was like, I never even fucking heard of this place.
Yeah.
Not from Tucson, but whatever. So I went online, looked at their beer list, their tap list, and they actually had Golden Pineapple on tap.
Wow, that's sweet.
I was like, what the fuck? This is someplace in Tucson, and they actually have Golden Pineapple from Modern Times on tap. That's pretty amazing.
It's crazy some of the relationships some of these guys create with those breweries. And they get these beers just shipped directly to them from across the state.
You get like 1 or 2 friggin' barrel or friggin' kegs in the friggin' valley, and it goes to Tucson, or it goes to ground control at this point. So
I don't know that Wandering Tortoise, where we went last Friday night for my birthday happy hour. They are doing some good things, some awesome tap takeovers.
Great call, Brandon. We're going to do a review of the Wandering Tortoise right now because you know what? Honestly,
you're welcome for being my birthday then,
and I would thank you because you know what? That place was pretty sweet. It was nuts to butts.
Right,
literally.
People had dogs that were just standing in the middle of the walkway. They were cute dogs,
right?
So they had to get a pet, but cool it down in there. Let's just cool it down temperature-wise for us Neutron Bomb people.
It was a little warm.
It was a little warm, but I tell you what, their bottles were awesome. They had some cool bottles. They had
21 beers on tap.
Yep.
Except for the last one is their
wine,
shit beer.
That's right.
So their 21st tap is their shit beer, which they actually had the banquet of beers on tap for their shit beer of the week.
Nice.
But they actually, the happy hour for my birthday coincided with a Modern Times tap takeover. So we are all about Modern Times all over their nuts lately. So it just worked out perfectly. They had some tasty stuff on tap. They had the Pilsner, which was really good. The Demaxian or something like that. Another IPA, their Orderville.
They had their own personal collaboration with Wilderness, the 15 Hertz. That was a sweet beer. I liked that. That was like a Brett sour beer.
Yeah.
That was a shit. I was going to say they also had 6 wines.
They had a lot of bottles of wine.
Oh, yeah.
They had some wine there.
Nothing on tap. But
they had a cooler full of beer, too, but I wasn't able to get over there and look at any of those beers. I decided not to move.
They had a bunch of good beer in there. I mean, honestly, there were some good-looking ones. There was one I planned to buy, but then I was like, fuck this line and all these people.
I think that's the thing is that maybe it was because of the Modern Times. Maybe it was a Friday and it was friggin' happy hour.
That was the last straw.
If I plan on going there again, it's definitely not going to be at like that. And I think it's nice and it's great space. It just needs to be a little bigger space. They're just opening it up, so maybe they will expand out and they'll get bigger. But
that's one of those places that makes my list of getting there at opening. Is whatever day you want to go, get there at opening, get your seat, and have a seat. Because I like to do that for Wilderness 9 times out of 10 now. I will not show up at Wilderness at 5 o'clock on a Friday. Go.
It's tough.
Yourself. There's no way.
Well, and it's funny.
Or 6 p.m. on a Wednesday.
It's part for the course for these places now. Is that parking's fucking awful, right? I mean, that's the thing too.
Shit, they even got valet over at Wilderness now, which is awesome if you want to pay $5, but still.
it's just
still, well, they've added that large patio. I haven't been in there in a while, but still, I find these places that I don't want to go unless it's like no one in there.
And then we go
and wandering toward it definitely makes the top of that list.
Yeah, it was like I said,
but I want to go there.
Definitely want to go.
Yeah,
just it needs to friggin'
again.
I want to
go there again.
Yes, I want to go to there again.
They have a Sunday brunch with a food truck. They don't have any in-house food, but they've partnered with a food truck for Sunday brunches. So that might be worth checking out one of these days. Hey, reestablish the brunch crew like we used to have.
Yes, we should.
Until you guys went and got knocked up and had kids and everything.
Fuck, dude. I tell you what, tomorrow morning they're doing breakfast at Wilderness, and we got to go to that as a group at some point.
Well, they're doing a grapefruit goose can release.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tearing down a chicken coop, or else I'd say we go, but honestly, we need to do just move past it.
Yep, it's not even
you heard it.
I didn't want to ask.
Were there any chickens in the coop?
There's no chickens in the coop anymore.
Did they fly the coop?
Yeah,
they scooped the coop.
And now we've got a big pile of shit to pick up. But I would definitely like to go over for Wilderness for breakfast because that shit is good. It's like a three fucking order menu, but it's good stuff.
So it's funny. So I was at Hilo Basin a little while ago here, and we were eating lunch, and I was talking to the people I was with kind of about, basically beer pairing with food and kind of how it goes, and like how these places actually, and they're more of a foodie. And so I was kind of explaining to him in a beer term, like, they actually do beer dinners where they actually, they will divide up, they'll pair beer with a course of a meal and usually have like 5-course meals. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. That sounds really good and blah, blah, blah. And then the bartender heard me say that and he's like, well, guess what? And he turns around a sign. They're having an 8-course beer pairing dinner.
Dang.
Which is insane. That's 8 courses for one.
Yeah.
Hilo Basin also just won 2, culinary like awards for their food. So their food's amazing. Their like tacos they have are fucking phenomenal.
Who are they doing it with?
It's them.
That's just them food pairing and beer.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So there's
like Wilderness would do it.
Yeah, 8 courses. I mean, that's insane to have that many fucking beers and fucking courses in a meal.
Absolutely.
So I mean, what do you have like I'm trying to think of 8 courses.
Oh yeah, well it's gonna be like a little
soup, salad,
a little amuse bouche, a little starter, little app,
main,
first dinner, second dinner,
two desserts
dinner.
At least.
Yeah, I gotta have ice cream and pudding.
Sorbet and a pie and maybe some cake.
Regardless,
right? That's insane.
Food pairings, breakfast, it needs to happen.
Right?
Did anyone just feel that though? Like a force change.
Know.
Brandon just set down a serious beer at this table, and I'm super excited to drink it.
Well, I had to bust this one out.
Super excited to drink it.
I had to bust this one out because I neglected to. I teased Nate, recently with having Modern Times the Blam Blam and not sharing any with him. It was not intentional that I did not share any with him. It was just it never worked out that I could share it with him. And I recently went on a little adventure myself down to San Diego and hit up Modern Times for a can release of their Dinosaur World, which we are not tasting currently. But I did pick up another 4-pack.
Only so many good beers.
I know. I did pick up a 4-pack of their Golden Pineapple, which is their hazy fruity IPA.
I haven't even tasted a sip of it and the smell of it right now. Fruity dankness. I mean, delicious.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Brandon's spoiling us right now.
And I brought back enough to share with Nate and Chris as well.
Which is
aside from this tasting.
Which is
so you're welcome.
Awesome dude move. We love you.
Hey, only to make up for the 24K that you brought me back on your little adventure that I was unable to attend. But
we all do need to go up soon. I tell you what.
Yeah,
I was bummed to miss out on the Noble Canniversary triple.
God, that was. They had some. They kept releasing there's 2 cans, right?
Yeah.
And
they did like a fudge stout, barrel aged stout, and fudge dog or some shit like that. I was on the Hoppy Craftsmen Instagram today, and this guy, I forget his name because I'd talk shit about, I'd call him out by name immediately. He posted a photo, a really great photo of the Canniversary with the can on the nice glass, like we're drinking this pineapple out of. And he said he was sick. He took 1 sip and just handed it to his wife. Now, I'm sure his wife likes good beer, but that hurt my heart to read. I wanted to be like, please hand that to me, sir.
Yeah, Brandon's powering through it right now.
I know. Brandon's not fucking around. He's drinking the beer. He's here, Nate, you drink this.
You're welcome.
I saw that guy.
Yeah, like I said,
fuck that guy. Whoever you are, feel better.
Woke up this morning feeling a little ill, so trying to combat it with a little liquid alcohol here. So
that's usually
I appreciate you appearing here with us. It was a little empty without you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had a great fill-in with David, but nothing fits quite like the
nothing compares
Brandon
to you.
So I'm gonna sip this thing right now. Chris, you took a sip. You look speechless. Tell us about it.
No, I was talking about Noble Ale Works some more.
Sorry.
They released their list for their anniversary party of all the beers they're gonna have on tap.
I don't want to talk about that shit.
Right. It hurt.
It's one of those things. Doubles, so many crazy beers, so many.
It's hard enough to say no that I couldn't go to it.
I know, and then to see that,
then fucking them post that shit, and it was like, yeah, sons of bitches.
It does crazy. It does taste crazy of pineapple. Really good.
It's supposed to be hazy. For a liquid,
hazy for sure. I mean, we've seen we've seen hazier, thicker, juicier ones, but hey, that's nice and hazy. And it's a 7.2, and you know what? That's a right number.
That's the right number.
That's the right number.
Anything over 7?
Honestly, I like a good 7+.
I mean, it's drinkable. It's not crazy bitter, which it shouldn't be for this hazy, juicy kind of beer. It definitely is, like I said, not the haziest I've seen. It's the aroma on it's freaking amazing.
Just oranges and grapefruit. Good stuff. Pineapple.
So it's not as big as the Dinosaur World, which I went to pick up, which is the first double IPA that they've canned.
Double too, is it really?
No, that's the first double IPA that they've canned.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The rest of them are just the tropical hazy, juicy IPAs. There's the Dinosaur World, which you guys have a can of each. Parting gifts will be your double northeastern style IPA.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah. So enjoy that.
The smell in this can is nuts. It's really hoppy. Oh, orange. Yeah. I love the way, honestly, the hop, the malt sits in the back to this, obviously, but it's still a super good backbone for it. And,
you talk about can art from Surly. Friggin' Modern Times with some of their normal can art's pretty cool, but
they've been killing it for a while.
They're unique beers or their special beers they put out. Their cans are pretty fucking awesome. Right. This is no exception.
And the cool thing about their specialty cans that they release, unlike Noble Ale Works or Monkish that do their random, hey, we're gonna release a can at 2:00 today.
Fuck Monkish.
I'm so fucking jealous. They're 5 monks or whatever that they just did.
Oh, that lines one that looked like they cut up like little lines of Coke, but it was like cut. It was like dusted hops. Oh my god! I wish delicious. I could fucking try that.
But the cool thing about
modern 5-year anniversary too. Right?
Yeah, the cool thing about Modern Times when they do their can drops is they actually have they sell them through brown paper ticket. You have to go pick it up at the brewery.
Yeah, but I'd rather do that any day.
But yeah, they have a supply available through brown paper ticket, so anybody can actually buy as many nice. As they limit the can intake to. I believe when I bought the Dinosaur World, it was a 40 can limit, which is crazy
per person.
Itself. Per person.
Fuck that. That's not a limit. That's a fucking stupid limit.
I bought 16,
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
40 can. Okay. I thought you said 40 pack. I was like 40 packs. Get the fuck.
10 4-packs.
Yeah, that's a lot though.
It's still a lot, and if you're in the beer trade,
but they want to sell that shit. They want to, I'm sorry. They want to have a sellout. Yeah. And I get that, but
they only canned, 15,000. 16,000 of the Dinosaur World, so
really?
that's
a fuck ton, though.
Yeah, but when you're limited in it to
how many cases is that?
4,100 4-packs.
Yeah, so that's a shit ton.
Yeah,
we went to Noble; they had 200 cases on. So that's a high number. So,
yeah,
but really still, big. I don't know. It's super duper good. Makes me jealous of anybody that has one. I'm glad I have one. I need to drink it again ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Brandon. You're welcome. Brandon's the man. I love Brandon.
This month.
Oh, that hurts Nate's heart.
So Monkish, you were talking about Monkish and their is it the We Got 5? Is that what was it?
They got We Got 5, but then the one before that they had one called Lines. 3 days ago they had one called Lines, and I'm so fucking jealous of Monkish and their beer releases and the people that can show up there within a couple hours that I just hate them now. I just want them to stop, and I can't wait to go to California and go back there.
So I'm wondering, so you're saying it's basically I've seen like
their Instagram releases.
Founders had like a one of their covers for the Ridiculous that was basically somebody cut up a bunch of hop pellets and then made some art with it.
Okay.
So recently there was a Beer Advocate released an article about actually this new thing in brewing where they actually are trying to extract as much lupulin out of the hops as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of making an essential oil type of thing. But
yeah.
But
and then I've seen brews where they've been taking that essential oil, that lupulin, and they've been adding it back in great numbers to some of these brews.
Right. So they always had some kind of essential oil you could actually put. A lot of beers actually, when they first started doing big hoppy beer, that's what people were saying. It's like, oh, they use hop oils in there. There's not really, they're not really doing a true hop stuff. So actually a grower of hops in, was it Yakima, Oregon, Washington, whatever it is.
Gotcha.
They created a process to cryogenically freeze the hops.
Nice.
That helps extract the oils out even better. So you actually get it's like 4% oil out more than you normally would. And then it becomes a fine powder.
Add that for taste, all kinds of
right. But they're saying it's kind of a learning curve because people are adding it to dry hops and that kind of things.
No,
but
right.
since it's so powerful, it's kind of overpowering a lot of the beers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually available for people to purchase from their website, which is kind of cool. So
that's sweet. We need to make sure we post that up.
It's a lupulin powder.
Lupulin powder.
They call it like a Loop 2N or something like that.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so. link the Beer Advocate. I actually just received an email from the Beer Advocate today with that article, as well as another one I was going to mention regarding the perfect shower beer, or mastering the art of the shower beer. Yes. And so they actually broke down what's the best type of shower beer, and there were three staples for it. Number one, should be in a can.
Okay.
So you don't drop it, break glass,
I suppose.
Number two,
be careful. You can have a bottle.
You want a hot shower and a cold beer.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Unless you're a fucking weirdo.
Right. And number three.
No weirdos.
And number three, it has to be crushable.
Crushable. Oh, like you should be able to kill it.
Oh, like you want to be able to drink it within 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so like this extra citra would probably be a good one.
So like a good session, a Hefeweizen, like a Mr. Pineapple or something would be perfect.
This might be a little heavy for that.
Right, like a Mr. P, from Santana would probably be perfect for that, or a good session IPA, all day IPA.
The Surly extra citra. I haven't had a shower beer in quite some time. Might need to bring that back.
Right after you do your coop thing tomorrow,
just before work.
Coop. So I actually had a beer at Pop earlier today that was Huss's Juicy Fruit.
Oh, okay.
That was a juicy IPA.
Nice.
It wasn't. It was actually just a fruit beer.
Oh, fuck.
But it tasted like juicy fruit. It was actually pretty good. It was very clean, a little on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a beer I would like to drink next to a pool when it's really hot out. Or being around.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of on that list of things, maybe a shower beer as well.
Right.
In one more tasting on this Golden Pineapple, it's really good. And I like that, when I see a name like Golden Pineapple, I get worried. I wasn't worried when I saw Modern Times doing a Golden Pineapple named beer. But when you see these pineapple named beer, like the Sculpin grapefruit, or these, you wonder how they're going to add that flavor and how evident it's going to be, and if it's going to be in the back. I don't know how they created, I don't know what they did other than maybe like the hop additions to create the pineapple taste, because that'd be, that seems like their style. But I like how it is flavored. It is super good with those grapefruit pineapple notes.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice beer. Thank you, Modern Times.
Yeah, keep making them. Keep making these beers. Let's keep getting them.
Yeah.
They have another can dropping.
And ship them here.
Yeah, they have another can dropping on the 20th of March with a collaboration they did with a Portland brewery in time for their beer release in Portland.
Oregon, Maine, or
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
So Modern Times is going up to Oregon now, and they did another can release there. I believe it's like their actually, I have it right here on email. It is their the Effective Dreams IPA with Great Notion Brewing in Portland. Packed with Citra, Mosaic, Southern Passion, and experimental 9-3-2-6 hops. Fermented with London 3 yeast and bewitching confluence of tropical citrus and stone fruit flavors and aromas that will make you extremely glad that you came in. And it came in a 4-pack.
It makes me very
glad. And it is
I came.
7.2.
Whoa! Oh, perfect number.
Perfect number.
That's a good ABV.
That's their next can drop. If you can pick it up and go out there within a month and a half, basically, to pick it up. Like, they limit their time that you can actually go pick it up.
Well, it's smart. They don't want it sitting there wasting. And I like the way I like the way these guys let us buy the beer, come pick it up. I don't like the way some do it. Like I said, monkish. That's annoying. The Rare Barrel in Burbank, I think, or Berkeley, wherever they're at.
That's Burbank, I think.
They don't let it, they'll let you do an online order. And, I was getting ready. They do a bunch of killer sours, the Rare Barrel. And I was getting ready to do an online order on like Tuesday. I talked to Dave. I was like, let me ship a box to your parents' house. He's like, do it. So sweet. 9-bottle minimum order at $21 to $25 a bottle.
Jesus.
Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not, unless I'm ordering for me and my buddies, unless all 3 of us or 4 of us get on an order. Who's got that kind of cash? So I was blown away at that. And that's, and then you can't do an order for pickup at the bar. You got to just go to the bar. Unfortunately, that's 7 hours away. So thank you very much, Rare Barrel.
Excuse me. That was like basically.
I will get there someday, though.
The brewer is actually doing, on the 24th, they're doing a public release of Chocolate Rain.
Ooh, Chocolate Rain.
That's the one, yeah. So they're releasing it to the public for the first time. There's a lot of people very upset about it that are basically, paid the $700 or whatever and waited forever to get in the friggin' Preservation Society.
Right.
And now they're just releasing these beers to public, and people are getting kind of.
I want to get in on one of these fucking beer groups. The Rare Barrel has an ambassadors group. Fucking want to be a part of this shit. And then apparently they paid to basically just have a right to buy the beer.
Right.
Which is fucking nuts. But hey, whatever.
Hey, if you put out rare beers.
Dude, the beers that I come out of the Rare Barrel are awesome sours. It's something I want to try. But yeah, no, it's crazy.
Insane. I would love to have some more Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain. Well, people need to relax on exclusivity. I mean, exclusivity is nice. Limited is nice. But, it's outrageous.
Well, that's the craft beer game at this point. I mean, that's how it works. It's the...
Well, you have certain breweries doing what they can to keep it local.
Right.
And I think Monkish does what they do to keep it local. Also, not to have a fucking zoo outside their bar.
Yeah.
I think they understand that people will fucking mob that place a day ahead of time if you let them.
Yep.
And I kind of get that. So, I mean, I understand exclusivity and I understand wanting to keep it local, but I liked that Noble lets us know this shit way ahead of time because we can plan a nice trip occasionally around it, Think about it.
Not dropping at noon that you're having a can release at 2:00.
Yeah, it's just like it makes me want to kill yourself because you're like, hey, had you told me this morning, I actually might have been able to come and do that,
Yeah, right.
But fuck,
Getting a lot of sick days in the middle of the day. It's weird.
Yeah,
but that's why we got to get in the beer trade game a little bit more.
I agree. It's hard. I've done it a little. I've done it on. I've actually done it like on an art forum. I cruise quite a bit. There's a beer section where we do some trading, and that's how I've gotten some beers from Other Half at NYC. The all green everything we had a while back.
Yep.
Incredible beer, but it's hard you got to keep up those relationships. You got to keep it going. You got to give. You got to trust. It can be tough.
It is tough. I mean, that's the kind of thing I know Beer Advocate has theirs. And you have to be a member for at least a month before you
got to be a member for a month, and even then, it's a cutthroat game. Like you've got to have the beer that people want to get what you want.
Yeah,
it's a really cutthroat little process.
But what just happened to us recently on Instagram? Somebody saw the picture that I posted, and then you guys reposted of the Dinosaur World, and couple people actually hit up asking for beer trade, and one guy never answered back, but the other guy I actually connected with out of Chicago, and we just had our first beer trade, and I actually got the first package today for beer.
And that
trade.
was a legit trade. I saw those beers; they all look good. So no, there's definitely ways to get it done, but you gotta.
Right. I mean, it's always tough the first time because, like you said, it's that you have to have some kind of like
you gotta trust them. You
trust.
Can't sit there and hold the beer and wait for the shipping notice to update. Like he sent his. Like you got to just do it together, and you got to send it, and they'll cross in the mail.
Yep, that's basically what we did. He was like, I took mine on Saturday, the FedEx, and he took his on Monday, and both showed up on Friday.
But even on Saturday, you're like, man, I really hope I didn't just send this Modern Times and he doesn't put it in the box on Monday. At least that's what I've been doing because I'm a fucking nutbag.
At that point, I have a phone number and an address.
Right.
And
like, motherfucker, I'll see you in a week.
I'll send some shit to your house.
Literally, I'll send you one of those fucking one of those big boxes that blows glitter all over your apartment when you open it.
Yeah, there you go. I know some of that's tearing down a chicken coop. I got lots of chicken shit to send you.
Yeah, I'm going to be tearing a chicken coop down soon. You're fucked.
Yeah. So, that's it is a little daunting at first to be able to make that trust. But again, make the leap. If you find somebody actually is good, like this guy sounds like he's legit, I mean, that's you said, cultivate that
work
relationship.
that relationship too.
Right.
You know, Brandon, these guys should hit each other up again. And I was gonna say, oh shit, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, no beer trade. Oh yeah, excuse me. Even in the example of the 24K juice, I had that on Beer Advocate.
Yeah.
Most people were taken care of on that beer by the time I got it up, even 3 or 4 days after the release.
Yeah.
People got them up immediately, and then people made their deals with Hamilton Brewing or whatever hot releases were in California that same weekend. There was a bunch of them when we went up there. Mumford, air quotes, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the air quotes. All that. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where
you've got to have what's hot.
Right.
You know, you can't be showing up there. You're not going to be able to show up there with a beer that's widely distributed, even to a few states, and get a lot of people to crawl over it. Not anymore.
Not anymore. It used to be that way. Now it's definitely, I mean, that's the name of this craft beer game now at this point. We talk about, like the exclusivity thing. You have to, that's the very cutting edge of craft beer. It's the trade. It's the beer trade. Beer trade is getting crazier. I think the canning thing is one of my reasons why I thought it was going to become more popular.
Absolutely.
Because it's easier to trade beers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, who if you're a brewer and you're a small brewer and you don't want to pay for advertising, what's the easiest way to get free advertising? Cans, man.
Yep.
You can have somebody trade. You can be on thousands of forums instantly. You can be all over the place. So.
And even look at that Modern Times can. That's a pasty that's basically on there. They didn't print on the can.
Right.
It's just a label that's over it, as opposed to the Surly can that's in front of us. That it's the whole can is the artwork.
Right.
Modern Times just buys cans.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of them do it now in California, because they just label whatever one that comes up.
Right. Like Wilderness, they just slap on that big ass label on their 32-ounce cans and put it up. So that's what we need to be doing, though, is like hitting up these Wilderness, special releases, getting a bunch of them.
Drinking them.
That's the other thing, is like not get more than what we actually consume ourselves, and sell it. Not sell it, but trade it with the people that are willing to trade for Arizona beers.
I'm sure me and Chris and Dave made it for the My Name Is Mud. I made it alone by myself for the double tropical, because I just had to have it, and I'm sure those beers would have been great traders.
Right.
The Muir, which is another killer beer they did a release for. I'm sure that would be a great trader. But unfortunately, I can't even pry it out of my fridge, let alone give it to somebody else for a beer.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to know. It's tough to have all that extra beer to trade. You got to have extra money to put it in and get all those extra brews.
And I can't be going out to San Diego every other weekend to go pick up beer, because Modern Times just dropped a new beer that's only available at Modern Times. But if I can make it out there once or twice a year and I can pick up plenty to bring back, then obviously I'd be inclined to do that as well. But it's a fun game. It's a tough game, and if it works out, then have fun with it.
No, absolutely.
And I'm intrigued to try these beers that I just got. They're all Chicago breweries. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. I know Blazing World was one of the beers, the smoke-filled room, and then the Cumulus. Yeah, they're all kind of more of the hazy or IPAs.
Oh yeah, at least 3 of them are all New England style.
and then the double. Just shout it out, Chris. Double Daisy Cutter.
The double Daisy Cutter, half acre. That's
the double Daisy Cutter. So big shout out to Chris Bors. If you happen to be listening, you found us on our Instagram at least, and appreciate the trade. And I hope you're enjoying your Dinosaur Worlds. We'll find some beers, especially stuff that we don't and we'll distribute.
And we'll make sure we posted your photos of all that haul. We got to keep doing that. Posting our photos of our hauls. That are up for trade, right?
Right.
So it's a good call.
Yeah. Speaking of trades, I believe Christopher Sandback is pouring us another beer that was a part of one of his beer.
One of our work buddies brought this back from Oregon, right?
Nope.
This was a beer trade.
This was for Georgia. This is the Creature Comfort from Athens, Georgia. It is a Tropicalia, yeah.
Yeah,
Tropicalia Indian Pale Ale.
Lemonade.
Yes. It is ripe and juicy.
Sorry, there's nothing lemonade about this. I just said that word.
It says ripe and juicy on the side. And I'm waiting for mine to be poured because
there you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Top you off there.
There you go.
Well, off.
Welcome back, Cuss.
Hey, thanks, guys. I was gone forever. So yeah, I did a beer trade with my cousin from Georgia. So sent him some beers from here. He sent me some beers from there.
Cousin Sandback.
I really wanted some Creature Comforts, some Wicked Weeds. There's a couple other places that I really want to get to. I got some Green Bench from him as well.
Right.
And what's the other one? Cigar City too. He sent some Cigar City.
Nice.
So we'll definitely try some of those other ones on the show here. But yeah, Creature Comforts. I've been seeing a lot of people actually posting on Instagram of drinking it, and they actually have a couple other really good beers too. So, but yeah, it's an IPA. Was it 6.6%?
Get hit with that malt right off the top.
Mm-hmm. It's not as hazy or juice bomby as the other ones that we've
it's all clear,
had, but it's a very smooth IPA. It's
malt up front.
Malt up front, not overpowering though, lingering taste of the hoppiness on the back end.
Pretty malty with that hop sitting behind it, which is not my favorite style, but that's because I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
When it comes to that stuff.
It is in a can as well. Probably not crushable for a shower. Although, I mean, if you're really desperate, you could crush anything you want to crush. Oh, yeah, let's be honest.
That's a great point, Brandon. Any beer is crushable if you try hard enough.
Anybody could crush a Mickey's if they really wanted to. Absolutely. But we're not going out of our way to crush Mickey's anytime soon. But
that's true.
So Beer Advocate has this rated as a 96.
Fucking really? Right? I mean, hey, who the fuck am I? But maybe it's better off tap.
Yeah, and so what's the date on this? It is about a little around the same time as that Pineapple. This is 127 of this year, so still actually pretty fresh.
All right, and it says enjoy by 427.
Yep. So
we're within the window.
We nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So their notes on Beer Advocate say it's a balanced, soft, juicy IPA, ripe passion fruit, and citrus hop aroma.
See, I wouldn't call that balanced.
Fruit forward, hop flavor that washes over the palate.
I wouldn't call that balanced. I mean, I'd call that a very malt forward IPA, but then maybe that's just my taste. The citra. I mean, you can taste those citra and what do they say they got in here?
Well, I mean, maybe it's from the fruit. You're tasting more of the fruit from it. Actually, it makes it taste a little bit sweeter, and you're equating that to malt.
True, like that stone fruit up front.
Right. It's more of a fruitiness to it, but
it's still quite malty. No, that's good.
Comparatively to like this Pineapple or to like Flavor K or something
absolutely.
Like that, it's not in that same realm. It's not that style of IPA. This is more, yes, there's malt there, there's more sweetness to it, but I don't think it's. I like it. I think this is really good.
Yeah, it's not shitty by any shape, by any.
I'd definitely pound a few of these.
I bet you
it's
would.
It's very crushable for me.
See, there you go. Crushable for Chris, not so much crushable for Nate or I, but
I'm fucking picky though.
Fucking pussies.
I'm picky as fuck though.
I'm just saying I'm not going to go like fucking slam one.
Oh, balls deep.
Yeah. I mean, I'll sit and drink a can or two, but I'm not going to crush a can or two.
Or 12.
No. It just doesn't taste as,
crush it. Jesus. If you could have seen what Chris just did.
I'm going to crush all these cans.
He crushed it with both hands, next to his mouth.
We call that the Dutch Rudder.
Next to his mouth.
It's like 5 fucking episodes in a row.
Oh, really? Of the Dutch Rudder?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good, because maybe that could be like our mascot. We can work that into a sticker.
No, I'm not doing that.
We'd have to include the dicks. Another episode, another time. Sorry, guys. We can
call
another
penises.
time.
Jesus.
Another time.
Peni.
It's the plural, I guess. Sorry. We just did there with 2.
Sorry, Nate. We're in the desert. We're in the desert.
Cacti.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the desert, so multiple cactus are cacti. So multiple penis are peni.
That's fucking funny.
Just leads right to it, I guess.
That's funny.
So if there was a beer that you would say is the most influential beer, what would it be?
Let's say just for argument's sake, let's say I just read an article called 25 Most Important Brews.
let's hypothetically say that.
American craft beers ever. Let's pretend
because this is the article that Chris is preluding.
Don't cheat and look at it. Just what would you say?
Oh, like the easy ones, like the Heady, the Pliny, for me.
Right.
For me. Also, there's, and I know it's on there, so I'm going to cheat, but the Allagash, a lot of Allagash brews were important for me when I was first getting into beer because it's a Portland brewery. It's a Portland, Maine brewery.
Portland. Yeah, not there.
Portland, Maine. But I have seen this list, and I do have, Sam Adams Boston Lager is like number 1, number 2. Yeah. I mean,
so it says influential. So it doesn't mean
it is influential. I agree with that.
We're not talking about what's the best. Right?
Absolutely.
Right? If you look at it, I think Heady Topper is like the last on the list. So beer wise, it's like I'd rather have a friggin'. I'm sorry, it's not the last, but it's pretty low.
Last on the list is
Matilda.
Not your father's root beer.
But
he's just kidding.
That was a joke. Yeah.
He's just JKing.
So every beer from Firestone Walker and New Glarus.
Yeah. He covered quite a few beers in the 24.
But to go back to your original question, I probably would have said Boston Lager.
Okay.
Sam Adams was probably one of the most influential craft beers at the time, when it first came on the scene.
Right.
So that probably led to every other craft brewery becoming what they are now.
In another one, which is funny it's on there, but you got to agree because it's almost everybody's introduction. It's a super introduction to craft beer. But that Hefeweizen. Hang on a second.
Widmer?
No, not the Widmer. I apologize. Blue Moon.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Moon.
Well,
and that is if you don't drink craft beer and you go into sit at a Chili's and get your fucking all-you-can-eat chips and salsa and you order a Blue Moon, that is suddenly you are introducing yourself to craft beer.
Well, and to be honest,
in a way,
they were craft beer. They got bought up by Miller's Coors or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I can see that. And it was at the time a totally different thing, and definitely a very gateway beer for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I would have said, and it would have been Anchor Steam, like all the Anchor beers, which is on this list, but they're not as high as I thought they would have been.
Mm-hmm. The Allagash White is there.
So number one, so we're kind of like dancing around, and number one is actually Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Yes.
So
which is kind of like another one of the staples. Like it's like, they have Sierra Nevada on tap. I'll get a Sierra Nevada.
The Sierra Nevada's got the bullet.
Right.
I mean, they've got a lot of beers, and you're like
Torpedo.
Fuck
always do that. Yeah, always do that.
Is there a triple bullet, or is it just called the Torpedo?
Torpedo.
Silver Bullet, I think, is what you were referring to.
Yeah, the Kerrs Light.
No, it's a Torpedo. We talked about this before.
It is the Torpedo.
The same thing.
Green Flash does a triple bullet. No, it's called what the fuck's that triple from Green Flash called? I don't care if I'm fucking getting off subject here. What's that fucking beer called?
Google it. We'll talk about it.
Fine, fuck it. Anyway, Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada's first, then Boston Lager.
Nevada.
I have crushed some fucking Sierra Nevada.
Oh yeah,
like
Crushed.
It is. Like you said, it's one of those things where I knew I was starting to become a beer snob, if you will, when I would go over to somebody's house and they had a 12-pack of like Sam Adams. I was like, nah, I'm okay. I'll bring my own beer. Like it's like it's too much. But I would always go, no matter where we went to a bar and they didn't have craft beer, quote unquote. They usually had Sierra Nevada,
right?
And that was what my drink was. So I'd just drink that. I actually went on a cruise recently. The first day I was there, I drank them out of Sierra Nevada. Well, I guess not recently. It's been like 3 years now.
I was going to say, didn't you meet your wife on that fucking cruise? No, you met her wife just before you went on that cruise. That's right. That's right.
He met his wife on St. Patrick's Day, which is
right. I know.
Up.
He met her wife just before.
I was there.
You were there. I was almost there. I don't know where this cruise came from.
Meet-iversary. Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, meet-iversary. I was there when you guys got engaged.
It's true.
Neighborhood.
And that was like 2 years ago now.
Oh, all right.
Neighborhood, Gaslight District, San Diego.
Right. And the Speakeasy.
You
guys want to go check it out? It's pretty dope.
That was a dope ass bar.
The Noble
They
Experiment.
usually always have Pliny on tap too.
Yeah, it's a good bar.
Insane. I mean, we showed up there and we all like grab each other and we point to the board and we're like, it's fucking Pliny on tap.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's one of those. And then I was always going to ask you guys if there's experiences where you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. And that the neighborhood in San Diego was one of those experiences.
Well, it was just a fun trip in general. Myself, Chris, and our other friend Steve all have birthdays in March, all within 8 days of each other, the 3rd, the 8th, and the 11th. And we took a trip out to San Diego 2 years ago. I guess it was 3 years ago now.
3 years ago.
And did a Stone, hit up Stone, hit up Green Flash, hit up Ballast Point, stayed downtown, and then found this like speakeasy just randomly called the Neighborhood. And there's
the back of the neighborhood.
It's in the back of the neighborhood. It's a speakeasy, and it's basically
what was it called? What was the name of it?
The Noble Experiment.
The Noble Experiment. And then you're going to the bathroom, and there's a wall of kegs.
Yep,
and you
right.
push on the wall of kegs, and it opens up into a speakeasy. And
we were trying to find it, right? Because Steve was like,
no, it's around the corner.
There's this place called the Noble Experiment. Let's go check it out. And we all go there, and they're like, it says the Neighborhood, so they must have changed the name. They must have the bar's different. Lo and behold, it actually was
inside of it.
Oh, and that was the best night. I was drinking like Pliny after Pliny after Pliny.
They had Blind Pig.
Blind Pig. They had they were doing the from Avery, the Dictator series before it had gotten really big and huge at that point. Just drinking beer after beer, and I remember getting at the end of the night, and my now wife was there with me, and I look at the bill, and it was for like $11. And I was like, is that right? No, pay it and let's go. And so someone got fucked that night. But yeah, neighborhood, San Diego.
Yes.
Go.
And the Noble Experiment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so as far as influential goes, Sierra Nevada. Just to bring it, that's what started that somehow. Sierra Nevada brought us all the way to the neighborhood.
Well, Anchor Steam, and I mean, and Will Stone's on here too.
Yeah.
Some of these things that we just
Anchor Steam, which started not San Francisco.
Yep,
yep,
still there. They're still there. I mean, that's for me. I drink a lot. I mean, their Christmas beer, their Anchor Steam in general. I mean, all those beers I just killed. So
another one on this list, which is a really good one, is the Hennepin. The Gang. So I mean that was
Lagunitas is on there.
Yeah.
Number 3 is hurtful though, but the Bourbon County Stout, it's never going to be the same.
And it was great at one point, right? You can see it. It obviously was a great beer for people at one time, but
it's never going to be the same.
Not like that anymore.
Yeah. Again, it's, if I can buy beer flavors or best beer or whatever. This list isn't the greatest, but influential wise, I can see it. I think, like I said, I wish that Anchor Steam was a little higher than with 4. Goose Island and stuff, drop that down a little bit more towards the bottom.
Lagunitas is on there. Yeah. New Belgium, Fat Tire. Pliny's actually on there. Your favorite, Dark Lord, which actually Dark Lord Day is coming up. I don't know if you saw the post about that.
I did.
So you got to hit up your buddy.
Never get there.
No, I don't know I know you're not going to get there, but
New Belgian Fat Tire.
Yeah.
Or Bell's Amber, which I fucking so before I moved for a brief period of time, I moved to Mississippi.
Oh, don't do it.
And I drank fucking Fat Tire when I was before I left, and then I got to fucking Mississippi, and you couldn't get Fat Tire, and I was fucking mortified. They don't serve. They ship past the east of the Mississippi at that point. So Nate just cracked one of his.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I did want to mention from this list though, but that Windmere Hefeweizen is a tie for Red Hook on the list.
Oh yeah,
Windmere Hefeweizen. So when you said Hefeweizen, it is on the list. So, but we can get into this next.
Right. There's so many. There's so many on here. I mean, we could sit here for a while.
I'm not happy right now. You're gonna make me even sicker.
So happy.
You're gonna
I'm
make
not happy
me
either.
sick.
So guys,
listen,
I'm on a list kind of kick right now. So the other list I found was 144 barrel aged Imperial Stouts, blind tasted and ranked. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the beer we're gonna drink next probably is not on this fucking list.
So this was called 144 beers. You said 144 barrel aged Imperial Stouts, blind tasted and ranked. Well, let's call it 145, folks.
So
before we even really get going,
a little backstory on this.
Let me just talk. Hang on a second,
right.
Brandon. Let me ask you a question. Brandon, look at this photo. Look at this photo.
Your dick.
How happy are you right there?
I look pretty damn happy. I'm at Strong Beer Fest. I'm in
front of the line.
I'm waiting in line at Arizona Wilderness at the front of the line for their 2:00 tapping.
He couldn't look any happier.
Dude,
he looks like a kid in a candy store. He's like, I'm at the front of the fucking line, and I'm going to try the best beer you got now.
We're waiting in line for this.
Always a zoo.
The tap to take over at 2:00. We get up to the front. It's about 5 minutes till, and I'm like, well, I'm not ordering. I'm in the line for the Battle Axe, which you're dropping at 2:00. Where's that line?
Yeah.
He's like, right there. And so I jumped over a spot and started the line basically. Perfect. And so Chris caught me as I had jumped over, and like there was actually 2 chicks in between of us, and he's like over the top of their head, snapped a picture. I'm just like, I'm in the front, kid in the candy store waiting for the beer to drop. And so pour the fucking shit.
So this has got to be the
episode.
I'm sorry.
I'll make the episode thing.
The podcast 11. That's got to be that photo.
Yeah. So on top of that, right, to even add more to the excitement, so Dave, who was on the podcast last week, his wife was with us, and she was a DD, but she's into craft beer and she likes craft beer, so she was super all about it. And so we're there. We first get in for VIP, and we're walking around, and she comes over, guys,
smell it.
She's like, the Battle Axe is on tap. We gotta go get some. And so we go, okay. So we all go over there, and she's super excited, right? And that she's actually gonna sneak one so she can try it. And they go, oh, that's not till 2. And she was so disappointed. Mm-hmm. So the whole time we were there, she's like,
is it 2:00? Is it 2:00? Is it 2:00? Is it 2:00?
And so it's just pumping it up for us to like, oh
so
yeah, it's
all Strong Beer Fest, which was amazing as it always was. We're just sitting there waiting for this to drop, which they were actually doing their own, release of earlier in the morning, which Nate went to.
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
Because he wasn't able to come to Strong Beer Fest, he was actually able to go to the beer drop and pick up a bottle of it.
Exactly. Same day they did the American Presidential and the Double Tropical.
Which we didn't even get the American Presidential because they blew that tap.
Did they?
Before Strong Beer Fest even started.
No way.
No. The keg line on it broke.
That's what.
Right. So they didn't blow the keg. They just couldn't. They couldn't tap pour
it.
Two
wow,
beers.
No
they couldn't
shit.
tap it.
Okay. All right.
And they didn't want to put that beer through the Double Tropical.
So they had their tropical IPA. Yeah, you're gagging.
No, this fucking beer smells terrible. No. Oh, don't get me wrong. I loved some of the things Wilderness did, but they fucked up.
So we've been talking about this beer for ever.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody named who the beer was.
Arizona Wilderness. Yeah. Arizona Wilderness made a beer that we fucking hate.
So long story short, first in line, dropped 2 tickets on it.
Full pour.
Got a full pour. First taste.
2 tickets for a full pour too.
It was
That's
2
right.
tickets for a full pour.
Brandon was pissed.
Full 4 ounces, which everybody behind me, they only got half pours.
Right.
So
That's
I was
right.
like, first in line, got a full pour. I was like, can I do it? And they're like, yeah, sure. Why not? So came to candy store, got this beer, waiting for everybody to get theirs and come taste it. We all tasted it together. We all literally almost just gagged.
Yeah. Oh man, and I really want to. This is great. I'm fucking loving the shit out of this right now. So I want to savor the fuck out of it. I want to go slow. So right now, Battle Axe, the Imperial Stout aged in Scotch barrels. Now I know you guys know a little bit about the kind of barrels these were aged in, and you were a little surprised at the time that they chose these barrels, if I remember correctly.
Right.
David knows quite a bit about this stuff too. Go ahead, Chris.
It's one of the peatiest scotches ever, and so it's super smoky, and I figured it'd be blended or something inside that beer.
Brandon looks like he's a fucking you do not have to drink that. This is not Fear Factor.
He's reliving the Fear Factor. Listen to Joe Rogan.
I said it earlier, and the anticipation to taste ratio was just ridiculous. Like I was so amped for this beer, and then to taste it and be so let down by a beer that I love Arizona Wilderness.
Right.
Like you've heard us talk about how much we're on their nuts for every other beer we've had on the show.
Yep.
To have it be such a fucking letdown that it was hurt me. Hurt me.
I'm gonna go find the Beer Advocate reviews on here because I was talking to our buddy after the fact about it, and I was just like, yeah, it's not very good. And it's just so we went and looked at it, and the rating was like, it still was like 4 or 5 or something like that. It was something ridiculous. And you look at the reviews, and people were just saying most contradictory things about it. It was like, it's really overpowering, undrinkable, 4.2. And you're like, how is it a 4.2?
It does smell like liquid smoke.
So like there's, Stone has their smoked porter that, you can taste the liquid smoke.
Don't make it anymore.
They used to have it though.
They don't make it
but
anymore.
I mean, like it was you knew what you were expecting with it. This took that and added smoke to the 10th degree. I mean, it was terrible. And it is
Laproig or whatever. Is that the kind of barrel they use?
Oh my God.
Yes, that's the so
yeah. And it says right here, if you are weak or confined to a petite palate, please avoid this monster of a beer. And and a lot of times I respect that, but just you can't call a fucking shitty beer a monster beer.
No.
And the way it smells like smoke makes me want to puke.
Yeah.
I can't believe you had to sip of this, Brandon. When we talked about this, we texted a little bit about this beer after I
told
got
you
it.
not to bring it.
He was adamant that I do not bring this beer, and obviously,
honestly, I think you should have sold that beer to somebody.
Oh yeah, probably. But we have a beer tasting show. Fuck it,
That's true.
I literally only bought it for the Hoppy Craftsmen.
Oh my God!
So
because
I just relived the Strong Beer Fest again, and it still hurts.
Our listeners know I apologize, Chris, but our listeners know just by listening that I'm a hophead. So this is not my beer, but I bought it just because I knew we needed to try it, but I had no idea it'd be this bad. I figured I'd be pulling a Brandon right now, and you guys would be treating me like I was a fucking idiot because I just hate this kind of beer. It's nice to know. I'm glad you don't like it, Brandon. What were you about to say, Chris?
I
want to suck this piece of shit.
Do it.
I love, and we talked about, you said smoke porter.
He kind of dry heaved a little bit.
Dude, it tastes like fucking soot.
Right. So
it tastes like soot.
It's like you're licking a fireplace.
I like smoky beers. I like the Stone Smoke Porter. I like.
Don't pour that down. Don't pour that down my drain.
Gotta clean it out. Well, take a video of it. If you
we
would,
need
please.
a palate cleanser.
If you're gonna pour it down the drain, take a video.
No,
of it.
not my drain.
Go in the bathroom toilet.
Gotta go down a drain.
Nope.
Go in the bathroom toilet.
Pour it out outside.
Yeah, right.
You know that takes it away. You just run a little water after, and it's done.
I live on the second story, bro. I don't want that shit coming back up.
I like smoky beers. I like Alaskan Smoke Porter. This to me is a bottle of liquid smoke. It's fucking awful.
Bullshit. They like this beer. I want any one of our listeners right
Anything
now.
over a 0.5.
Any one of our listeners right now, if you listen to this podcast and you're like, fuck those assholes, that was a good beer, please hit us up.
Here's the thing. It's
We'd like to have you on the show.
This is a 15% beer.
It's great. It still tastes like ass.
Can you take a big gulp of that and not hate yourself or puke?
It's
Do it.
the aroma of it. It's liquid smoke.
Can we-
The aroma alone
Hold
makes me
on.
sick.
Hold on. Take video of it. I want video of him drinking it, video of all of us having a sip of it, and then we'll put
I've
a
already had my
compilation
sip.
of all of our faces afterwards.
All right, so let's do that. We'll take a break and we'll take some videos.
Yeah,
and
That's
then
a
we'll
great
come back.
point. A little break. No, don't do it. You're stupid. No. Anyway, we're back. We've just got done making a video about the worst fucking beer we've ever tried, and now it's time to continue this little ride. Wow. What do we got next, Chris?
So this is actually another beer trade from my cousin. This actually is from Asheville, North Carolina, though.
Thank you, Cousin Sandbag.
So Wicked Weed Brewing. I've seen a lot of their beers on Instagram as well, so I was super excited that he could get some of this.
Pernicious.
Wow, it's like you said this first try.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sitting there Googling it and listening to what a computer told me how to say something. It's like that movie Pernicious, where he says that. Pernicious. India Pale Ale, October Sky. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
Sorry. 7.3 ABV.
Whatever takes the taste of smoke out of my mouth is fine.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
So let's just talk about
I'm
that.
gonna
for a
dream
second.
about that.
It's we talked about it
be
before.
a bad dream.
Man, that's awful. It's one of those things where, like I said, I took the big drink. It wasn't too bad, but then the aftertaste was it's one of those things where you eat hot food, you just gotta keep eating hot food. It doesn't get really hot.
Yeah, no.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah, that made me sick.
I think if I chugged that bottle nonstop, I wouldn't be bad.
Oh my God, I'd throw up so hard.
But it's 15%, so I'd probably be dead.
I'm sorry. I
Like that dad that died of chugging a bottle of tequila down in Mexico recently.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Idiot. Fucking moron. Honestly, I would love to meet the Beards, these guys run in Wilderness, and I would
Right.
first thing I'd like to tell them is, hey, you guys make some of the best beer I've ever had in my
Right.
life. Thank you for moving to Gilbert. Thank you for doing what you do. That'd probably be the first thing I'd like to say to them.
And then second thing you do
second
is
or
slap
third-
them across the face for battle axe.
I just like to know what they thought of it. I just like to know what they thought of the finished product. And if they say to me, hey, we liked it, dude, but it's not for everybody, I'd be like, fucking A. But you know what? I'd honestly really like to hear them say that they liked it, because fucking holy shit, that was bad.
They'd probably be like, whoops.
Frankly, and that's okay too. I mean, they put their effort into it, and they seem to think,
and
they wrote on the label, it's a monster beer. If you have a weak palate, move on. So they know it tasted like shit.
Don't. I mean, again,
In my
don't
opinion.
stifle the creativity. That's great that they keep trying to experiment and doing
Fucking
things.
A.
So keep doing it. This one, not a hit at all.
Yeah.
I mean, especially this group.
Yeah, not with this room.
I think if they would have blended it with,
And I'd like to meet the room it was a hit in.
right.
Well, like any other barrel. Any other barrel, age it in. Not that whiskey barrel.
Well, blend it. Take that, blend put a small amount in that barrel, and then blend it with the normal, the base of that stout. Probably pretty good.
Yeah.
A little bit of smoky flavor to it, not too bad. But this is just, it's awful. It's liquid smoke in a fucking, you can't even take the stout. I can't even taste the beer over the freaking liquid smoke flavor.
I hope you guys enjoy
can't stop
our ugly
burping it.
faces that we make after we
Yeah,
try
we'll
this
put that
beer.
video together. I'll make sure to try and get it out at least by the time we do the tasting for this show on.
I feel bad.
on air.
I want to pay you $21 right now.
Oh, hey.
Because you wasted that $21.
It's always worth it for the show. I mean, like I said, that was good stuff. But you know what? I hate that. Like I said, that you sit in. Me and Chris have talked about it. You sitting there in those wilderness, those can release lines, and you're like, I'm gonna get one of these, and then get one of these. I don't need to spend an ass ton of money. You sit there and you start working your way towards the front, and people are walking out with 45 cans of this and 32 cans of that, and they've got one of everything at least.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I better get what I can while I'm here.
Yeah, because it's not going to be here when I get
It's
let
not
back.
going to be here when I come back, so I might as well get one. And so all of a sudden, your orders just tripled or quadrupled, and and that's what it was. When I was sitting there, I was like, I want to get two presidentials. I want to get 3 or 4 double tropicals, and then I was like, wait, I gotta get one of those battle axes because it was like the last box. There was more presidential than there was battle axe. The battle axe was going faster than the presidential at that release.
And everybody that bought it before you is hating their lives right now.
Oh, dude, I watched people walk out of there with a case of that shit.
Yeah.
A case of it. Because that was the fucking limit.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sure they're fucking traded off to other people and just getting some good beers.
Yeah, getting great beers and then
Yeah,
trading a shit beer in return. Oh my God.
I'm sure
I couldn't even
that
imagine.
beer is causing frowns all across the U.S.
Some dude in fucking Idaho was like, what the fuck, man?
Some guy in California or no, Vermont just traded away like 10 treehouse beers for this. And they're like, what the fuck?
Did you just say Idaho?
Idaho.
Where's Idaho?
It's in between Iowa and Idaho.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Bruno.
I'm just curious. I mean, I heard it. I just wanted to make sure.
Seriously, some guy in Vermont's like, let me get some of these treehouse brews I can get all the time, but they're still a little limited, but I'll trade them off. Like, we can get wilderness beers, and I'll trade them off to get one of these battle axes. And he's just fucking pissed.
Well, especially with a 4.5 on Beer Advocate. Like, what the?
That's nuts.
Well, beer. Okay, so I think it was.
I think Beer Advocate's inflated. I think
Untappd. Beer Advocate had one check-in. Untappd is where we looked in earlier. Untappd is where it was a lot higher.
There's Four Peaks beers with a fucking 4-point higher. Several of them. I call fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I'll find what the fucking Untappd is. But so this beer is from Wicked Weeds.
Yep. Sorry.
To this beer.
I will stop being sourpuss about the other one for a second. Ooh, I like the hop bottle. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
That's tight.
It's a very nice looking bottle. It's a lot of their stuff is very.
It feels like a bottle. This is a tiny bottle.
Molecular.
It's only 12 ounces.
Why do I feel like I can crush this thing in my hand?
Is it crushable?
No.
It's not a can.
Don't drink it in the shower.
Hey, fuck that. I love bottles. I'll drink a fucking bottle in the shower. Like I said, we're all grown-ups here. Don't drop the fucking bottle in the shower.
Don't drop the
drink
soap either.
True.
Nate's missing toes.
Don't drop a bottle. Don't drop the soap, then a bottle, and then you'll be just fucking fine.
So Nate's like the shop teacher. Just do as fucking I say, not as I do.
Right.
Don't be.
Don't suck.
People can drink a bottle. Everybody wants to keep everybody safe. You can have a glass bottle in a fucking shower. It's okay. This was bottled on January 7th. Brandon, stop looking at me.
I'm just looking at you, dude.
Yeah,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the next gem to drop.
I know. It was bottled.
Kind of like your next testicle to drop.
Boom.
A short one. Bottled on January 17th. So you know what? That's nice and fresh. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, these people, dude. Sorry, let's go back to the bottle actually real quick. I found the reviews. Untappd.
It's a tiny bottle.
4.1. This guy's 3.5. This is
Was this Battle Axe tastings?
Yeah.
Oh wait, do they have people giving tasting notes? Someone has to rip that beer, you asshole.
People are like 5 stars for this fucking dude.
What's he say about it?
He didn't say anything. He just like 5 stars and fucking put a picture.
Fuck that. If you're gonna leave a 5-star review,
Fake post.
If you're gonna leave a 5-star review, you better fucking give me some words.
Yeah,
I want to know about it.
Fucking put some flavor profile shit in there.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see this guy's fucking.
Silver medal recipient.
Here's one. 2.5. No, thank you, Jerry. Bad call, bro. I feel like it's just
Jerry bad call. Great, we're gonna be reading that on the next Wilderness Anniversary Cup.
I just tasted a fireplace, the entire fireplace.
Yeah, it
dude.
literally is like you licked all the way up the pipe.
There's soot in your mouth when you get done with that beer. Brandon, Chris, send me the link for that real quick so I can through somewhere so I can take a quick look at that.
I'm still having nightmares.
I want to talk shit about these people's reviews.
It's pretty character.
You repressed some bad memories for me, so thank you, Nate.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, they even put the label on.
I wonder if
I'm gonna have some sick nightmares tonight. Literally sick nightmares.
This was just talking about a good beer for a second from Cousin Sandback from Wicked Weed Brewing, the Pernicious India Pale. This was a silver medal recipient.
That's what I just said.
Oh, well, I'm gonna say it a little more. I'm gonna say it again because a good beer deserves to be celebrated more than once. Silver medal recipient, American Style India Pale Ale, 2015 Great American Beer Festival registered trademark. Did you get that into it, Brandon? Did you include the little registered trademark detail?
It's a TM.
Yeah, the GAMBF is a registered trademark, motherfuckers. So, did you send me that? I got to talk shit to these people.
Nah,
all right, fine.
So, if you look at Wicked Weed's other beers, they actually have a bunch of beers on their site. They have some friggin' pretty awesome looking beers. So I'm hoping that I can do some more trading with my cousin and actually get some of these other beers. This is really good. I like this. Brian, what your thoughts?
It's a nice IPA. I mean, feels like a standard IPA. Nothing, crazy. Nothing out the door. Very nice hops.
Super light.
Yeah.
Super light colored, like very clear, no haziness.
But I could be mistaken because my palate could be all askewed because of the
our palates are destroyed. That's true.
We probably should have done that last.
Right. I mean, no, it tastes. It's a very smooth IPA.
Yeah. There we go.
Angel of Darkness. They have some other. They have French barrel aged French toast.
Barrel aged French toast.
That sounds like a great beer. So Imperial Stout. Imagine that. Cinnamon.
Yeah, no, I apologize for the delay in my responses on this. I'm actually still blown away by the badness of that beer, and I just found all the reviews on Beer Advocate of anybody saying anything positive about it. So it was blowing my mind. It is a good Wicked Weed is really, really good, and I would like to try more of their beers.
You guys really excited about that Helium beer coming out? You guys hear about that?
PSA, Helium beer is not a thing.
What?
Yeah, just so you know, it's not a fucking thing.
I've been trading for like 15 beers with somebody for some Helium beer.
Well, you got taken, dude.
What? Yeah.
It's not a thing, dude.
Not a thing at all.
Helium beer is not a thing.
Are you trying to do a Helium voice right now?
I was working on it.
Yeah, so...
You might come over on the podcast.
FYI, there is no such thing as Helium beer. It's actually... Scientifically, it's not possible. Helium does not carbonate. It doesn't break down that way, so...
Got it.
Don't do it. It's actually was April Fool's thing forever ago from Stone.
Oh, yeah, from one of their Stone Stouchacity.
Yes.
That's the one.
Jesus. Mm-hmm. Stouch-ass.
Mm-hmm.
Pernicious.
Not going to work here anymore.
Pernicious.
You're allowed to laugh.
Helium is not soluble in water.
It's not going to be working here anymore. Anyway, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a fake beer, Chris. Don't be a fucking fool.
Adding liquid helium would be impossible as it turns from liquid to gas at negative 220 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, sounds like I guess it's impossible.
Wait,
you heard it here second.
There's a nitrous.
If you read that article, you've heard it there first. Here second. Hoppy Craftsmen with all your deets.
Yes. So, don't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, on that note.
Yeah, no, we're ramping down here. It's not our fault that the wilderness took it out of us. Arizona.
Usually the wilderness puts it in us.
They do. They usually put it in me regularly. Yeah. They usually take it out of my wallet and put it in me on a regular basis.
They give you the double pounding.
Yeah, seriously. But honestly, that beer was so bad that I think it's killed the end of this podcast. And we just have to end with don't try Arizona Wilderness's Battle Axe. If anybody tries to trade it to you, you tell them to go fuck themselves.
Drink the other beers. Don't drink that one.
Just that one. The rest are really good.
Fear the Battle Axe.
Thanks to Cousin Sandback for his brews that he sent us.
Yeah.
Does he have a name other than Cousin Sandback?
Yes, it's Cousin Sandback.
Oh, okay.
It's Ron.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it, buddy.
Ron. So again, thanks for listening.
Yep.
Where can everybody find us?
Hit us up on your Android app on Podcast Addict to get to the Hoppy Craftsmen podcast. Instagram.
Hoppy Craftsmen.
Boom.
Facebook. Right around there.
Yeah, figure it out. You know the name, so just Google it.
You can go to the website, and it's hoppycraftsmanpodcast.com.
Perfect.
So thanks for being here.
Glad to be back from Canada.
Brandon gave us such good brews today. Thank you, Brandon.
And then you brought us such bad brews.
I did. I brought us the worst brews.
Today was
I'm done. This is my last show.
Today was a mixed emotions
mixed
of beer.
Thanks, guys.
All right. As always, I'm Chris.
Brandon.
Nate.
Later.
Peace.